Some kind of a personnel matter, that's for sure. It's the voice of Merrill News Radio 600 Kogo. The Carlsbad city manager, John Coates, resigning his $220,000 a year job because of an unspecified personnel matter. I feel like we've got some sort of a conflict of interest there. Now, this is the guy, city manager John Coates is the guy that instituted the merit-based pay increase system rather than the old way of just an across-the-board pay increase. He's the one that said, no, if you do a good job, well, you're going to get more money. And if you don't do your job, then you're not going to get any more money. All of a sudden, fewer people were leaning on shovels, looking for some more money. So that's the guy for personnel matters has now stepped away. Also, that super typhoon hitting the Philippines right now, 4 people dead. Winds are over 200 miles an hour, sustained winds at 195.
They're saying these are the highest winds in recorded history.
This is akin to driving with Jimmy Johnson and sticking your head out the window.
Apparently, yes.
That's what it is, right? It's sustained wind, 195 miles an hour.
Yeah, you hear about wind gusts, but even in Katrina, it was 120 mile an hour winds. With
gusts up to like 140, right? And
yeah,
this is sustained 195, gusts well over 200.
Well over 200.
Oh, incredible what's going on right there. Today's program is dedicated to the Support the Enlisted project as we continue with our radiothon, an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about the Support the Enlisted project and hopefully an opportunity for you to step up and help out STEP, Support the Enlisted project. This is an organization that is funded 100% by the kindness in your heart and the donations, and it, of course, obviously supports the enlisted, as well as those who are transitioning from the military. And we found out earlier on the program that in many cases, some of those benefits that are guaranteed, they'll come through, but not as soon as someone is out of the military. In fact, it may take over 300 days for some people. In fact, Jason is one of those people, and welcome to the program, Jason. You ran into a transition issue. Is this correct?
Yes, I did.
So tell me a little bit about that, how it went down.
Well, we had a couple of issues, too, with some legal fees that we had to pay for, and we weren't able to save money to make that transition. And when we got out, there was a couple $100 in the checking account, and there was no way of us making rent.
And you were waiting on money from whom?
From the Marine Corps.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, but from the VA, from other organizations?
This was just final pay. Final pay takes a lot longer than what you're usually used to.
All right, so that's what you're expecting, and still the banks, they kind of want their money for their cars, and the landlord wants money for rent, and the cable company wants money for cable, and the power company wants their power to be paid for, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, so you went to STEP. How did you find out about Support the Enlisted project?
I went to the Navy Relief Society, and we pay into them while we're in the Marine Corps or in the Navy, and the problem is they're not there to help somebody that gets out of the Marine Corps or out of the Navy. They are there for somebody who's got like a year left so that they can pay the loan back.
And at that point, they then directed you to STEP?
They recommended me to call STEP, and I did that afternoon, and I was in touch with somebody that day, that evening, 2 hours later. And they assured me that I wasn't going to be kicked out of my house, that my family was going to be okay, and it was a real blessing.
Indeed. Jason, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm a full-time student, and I've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
My wife, and we found out a week after we got out that she was pregnant.
Hey, so, congratulations! I think as long as it's yours, Jason. Yeah. That gets awkward. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Yay! Congratulations, Jason. All right, so you got a newborn on the way still, and you've got 2?
And I have 2.
Oh, that is great, man.
I have a stepchild who's 6 years old, and he was born deaf. He has cochlear implants.
Yeah?
Just an absolutely amazing kid. I've got a 1-year-old girl that's just the light of our world, and we're super excited for what God's got in store for us.
Jason, you've got a light in your voice, my friend. You do, and I just love it. I love hearing it, man. It's uplifting. This is a great way to start a weekend, especially Veterans Day weekend, bud. Thank you so much for being on the program, Jason.
Well, thank you. It was just the kindness of their hearts to reach out and try to help me out, and they went above and beyond. They paid for my rent. They paid for my utilities, and then they gave me gift certificates to the grocery store to hold us over until we got our final pay.
And you got it, and now you're headed to school, and you're back on your feet.
Got it. Getting my housing allowance. I'm a full-time student, and I'm enjoying it. And we'll be looking at getting a job beginning of the year in the IT department.
Perfect. Jason, you are the exact story. Thank you so much. The exact story that we're talking about when we talk about Support the Enlisted project. Now, remember, Support the Enlisted is all donation-based, and so they need some kindness out of your heart. Go to Kogo.com. When you go to Kogo.com, it'll pop up real big. Linda's pretty face and my ugly mug. The digital department here at Kogo did the right thing. They put Linda in the forefront of the picture.
But,
Linda, you have to admit that's true.
I'm just thinking about his call, and just what you're hearing over and over again is how quickly they stepped in to help these folks that were waiting for these other organizations to come through, and it was going to take a while. But in the meantime, how do you pay for food?
Oh.
How do you pay for repairs, your rent, all those small things? Well, in the grand scheme of things, small, but for these people, it's everything.
And so go to Kogo.com, click on Linda, and you can make a donation right there. It'll take you to the donation page. You may also call 858-695-6810, 858-695-6810. And one of the sort of themes that we've had is sort of challenging the San Diego businesses to do so. And the boss passed the hat around, and our programming department made a donation as well. He's challenging all of the other media groups in town, television, both network and cable. He's challenging some of the newsprint as well, any magazines, to just go to Kogo.com and make that donation. Or if you'd like to call 858-695-6810 and get in touch with the Support the Enlisted project and make a donation, that would be just dynamo. Just dynamo, my friends. We still have, and we've got a new world record being set as we speak. And it's not one that too many people would like to be a part of, though. At 7:21, you'll find out just what that record is and why it could signal the end of times. Begin panicking in about 7 minutes. Join Kogo and the Solar Alliance Foundation at the 2013 San Diego Veterans Day Parade. Bring out the whole family to enjoy the floats, marching bands, and pay tribute to our Vietnam veterans. It's Monday, starting at 11 a.m. on North Harbor Drive. More info on the parade, go to Kogo.com, keyword parade.
You have a voice.
When you know something bad's going to happen,
use it.
You can't just sit back and let it happen.
News Radio 600 Kogo.
Chris Merrill, the voice of Merrill, News Radio 600 Kogo. The radiothon for the Support the Enlisted project continues, and we have some big news about this to share, Linda. Big time news to share about the Support the Enlisted project. Some things that are happening as we speak right now. It is happening right now. People are stuck in the Golden Triangle. They are trying to get through the all too few lanes that are headed out of South Bay right now. They're trying to work in to town on the 8th. They're headed east, and they're stuck. And there are big things happening with the Support the Enlisted project.
What is it?
I can't tell you quite yet.
Okay.
Because I need you to listen just a minute longer. This typhoon thing. The typhoon is we have hurricanes on the Western Hemisphere and it's typhoons on the Eastern Hemisphere. Am I right on that? Or it's pretty close, right?
I'm not sure about that. I just know that this is up there surpassing the hurricane status in terms of winds and impact.
This typhoon is a new world record.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. All the top level forecasters are saying it's the biggest one ever recorded to hit land.
So we have really no way to find out if there's ever been anything bigger than this in the history of history. But we do know that it is the largest in recorded history thus far, it sounds like.
These winds, I can't even imagine what it would be like in winds like that, surpassing 200 miles an hour. Well,
I think that I mentioned earlier, it'd be like riding with Jimmy Johnson around the track and sticking your head out the window. That's the closest I can come up with. But if you stuck your head out the window, that would slow his car down, right? So I mean, even still, you'd only be hitting about 160 or 170,000 miles, or 160 or 170 miles an hour in that case. New world record. And I don't know. 4 people so far that we know of are dead. We expect that's probably going to go up. Would you expect so?
Yes, they do think it could go up exponentially just because communications have been cut off. And so it's really hard to get in touch with people there to find out.
You think that
you had 25 million people in the path and you had 700,000 or something some exorbitant number that were all evacuated.
Right, ahead of time. So fortunately, some of those got out. But then if you've got people like when Katrina came and they said, you need to get out, you need to go now, they maybe didn't necessarily get out like they were told, right?
Possibly.
One would assume you've got some lingerers.
And you have, so many people here who have family members there who are kind of watching and waiting and
Indeed.
trying to get in touch.
Indeed. Merrill friends are right now trying to contact home, but like you said, communication is down because I don't believe that telephone poles hold up very well in 200-mile-an-hour winds. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure most every tornado that's ever gone through the Midwest at winds far less than 200 miles an hour have snapped all of those telephone poles. So communication could take a while to restore. In studio with me right now is Carla Winter-Schultz. Carla is the president of Support the Enlisted Project. She's been involved in nonprofits for 30 years, Navy spouse for 27 years, and now dedicates her time to trying to give financial as well as emotional. We've had some stories, Carla, too, some of the emotional support that you offer to some of our enlisted, the families of those that are enlisted, and those that are transitioning out. And so we've been directing people to the website all day at kogo.com, keyword STEP, and that takes them immediately to your donation site. And I just wanted to ask if we can get an update. Are we seeing some donors that are coming out? We know that Linda cracked open her wallet and led the programming team. And the donation now from Clear Channel Programming is $1,200. We issued a challenge to a number of other areas here in San Diego, a number of other businesses. Are some others stepping up right now?
Yes, as a matter of fact, just a few minutes ago, we received a $2,000 donation that we're very grateful for.
Hey, how about
That's
that?
terrific.
Nice.
And in the comments section, the donor kindly challenges other construction companies to match.
All right, great. So it was from the construction sector saying, hey, guys, put the hammers down, get the wallets out.
That's it.
Let's go, gang.
Yes.
So a $2,000 donation to kind of lead the way on that, and the bar has been raised, and asking you to try to step up and do everything you can to help out with the Support the Enlisted Project. Again, it's a group that does not operate with government grants. They operate only with the kindness of your heart and donors in the San Diego community. And Carla, your grants, your expenses are, monthly. How much are they?
About $35,000 a month on a routine basis. When we get into those higher cost months, like back to school month, like Christmas, that can double.
You go up to $70,000 a month is the need. And those are the people, too. And this is the other thing, too, is you're dealing with people coming out of the military, and they've got a great deal of pride. As well they should.
Yes.
But when that happens, they do everything they possibly can to improvise, adapt, and overcome the challenges in their lives. And sometimes that's at the detriment of their credit, of their living situation, of their job searches. And so when do you say, listen, if you're feeling pressure, contact us before it gets too bad? I mean, when is it that you go, yeah, let's get in here and help you out right now?
Well, our service members are humble. They're proud of their service to our country, and that's why we have an online application. There's no face-to-face application, and I really want to congratulate our Director of Client Services, who does such a wonderful job in giving that human touch to all of our clients. We have very emotional situations that go on, and she just handles those so expertly and wonderfully. And we don't reach out and ask them to come in. We'll go out and do outreach and presentations, make ourselves known, but we're definitely there for them. As soon as they hit submit on that online application, it is turned into our DCS, and she is on it immediately.
All right, and this is one of those situations. Listen, we don't want to see you get to the point where you're facing eviction, where your car is being repossessed, where you can't feed the kids and you've maxed out all your credit cards. At that point, you are in so deep. It's much better to reach out and get a little help before you get in that deep, because if you do go that deep, boy, it is so tough to get back from it. That's so hard.
The difficult part, because of that humility that they've got and their pride.